Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got another prize picks video for you. We're going to be talking about Flex Friday, January 5th. We have an awesome slate. We've got 14 games with a lot of killer matchups. We're super excited about it. We actually have 6 picks for you tonight on first look because the board's already looking awesome. And we'll see what we've got working tomorrow for the daily show. But, as long as the picks are there, we want to share them with you guys. So we got 6 for you tonight at first look. But before we get into the plays, if you've never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code at the bottom of the screen and they'll double your first deposit up to $100. They're going to match whatever you put on. So if you do throw on the full 100, you'll get $200 to play with. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We run our first look show anytime there's any sort of a slate that we cover. And we run our daily show Monday through Friday. So if you are subscribed and you have the notifications on, you should be notified as soon as our videos are up. We do have a lot of plays sometimes when we're trying to catch value early. They move pretty quickly. So it's a good idea to have the notifications on if you want to jump into the plays that we are picking. But all right, we're going to do a quick recap of our 2-game slate for Thursday that honestly, I wasn't very excited about, and it ended up being 2 killer games. We were kind of coming off of a rough slate from Wednesday, had a rough outing that day, and so our energy was a little bit low. But the thing is, like, we've had some people before say, like, bring the energy up or whatever, get more enthusiastic. Honestly, guys, we're just going to be ourselves, and when we're coming off of a rough slate and we're not that excited about the slate to come, we're just going to be genuine. That's what we really want to do with this channel. Not like we want to make it boring or anything, but sometimes we're up, sometimes we're just kind of mellow. So but we're up for this one. This is an exciting slate. So so let's get into our recap real quick. All right, so in the night show, I had taken Brandon Porjemski for over 18.5 PRA. He ended up playing great. He went for 20. And then also took Jonathan Kuminga for over 18.5 points and rebounds. I'm happy that I went ahead and went with the points and rebounds because the rebounds actually ended up not cashing. He only went for 4, but he did get that 16 points. So we ended up cashing on that one as well. What about you, Jordy?
Yeah, so I had taken Victor Wembanyama for over 1.5 dunks. This just felt silly with how athletic he is. He went for 3, so he hit on that one. I took Tracy Jackson Davis, and he got his typical minutes. He just didn't play well. It's a tough matchup. I just thought he would, do a little bit better this time, but I guess he's just not that great going into Denver. So something to note for the future, but we took him for over 22.5 fantasy score, and he only went for 7.4. So a little rough outing on that one, but we got a big slate ahead of us, so I'm excited to bounce back on this one.
Yeah, man, me too. 6 picks for you guys. We were both just so pumped to see this much value on the board, and it actually makes sense. We didn't want to force 6 out, but it makes sense for us to get these out because I think all of these plays that we're grabbing tonight will end up getting bumped or moved or removed, by tomorrow. But we should have a lot to work with tomorrow, hopefully too. All right, so to get us started, I'm going to be taking a PRA prop. And I'm going to be going with Jalen Johnson to go over 28.5 PRA. I love this matchup. I just want pieces of this game. If we go over to check out the over-under, let me just refresh this real quick. This should be huge. Yeah, 263 over-under with the Pacers favored by 3.5. I believe the Hawks are third in pace and in scoring. And the Pacers are second. So this should be a killer matchup. A lot of fun. And if we take a look at Jalen Johnson, what he's been doing over the last 3 games, he's been killing it on his points when Jordy's been taking him. But he's been getting a ton of rebounds and been getting involved with assists as well. Now Outlier has this set at 29.5, but Prize Picks were getting it at 28.5. But still, what I love most about this is, in his last 3 games, he's went for 35 PRA, 41, and 38 PRA. And then now we're going into a matchup where they're going to need to be scoring a lot. to keep up in this game because both teams are just so fast-paced and high-scoring. And if we look at this matchup here against Indiana, Indiana is 29th in points allowed to small forwards, 29th in rebounds allowed, and 21st in assists allowed. So across the board, I'm seeing all these indicators pointing in that direction. It gets me excited about this play. If we hop over to Daily Grind, they have this at a 53.6% odds to hit, and their odds are at a minus 136. We've got minus 130 at BetMGM and minus 135 at DraftKings. So it looks like a lot of people are getting on this play as well, since Prize Picks has it a full point under what a lot of the other odds makers have it at. So that's going to be my first play. And my next play is actually, I wanted something from the same game. And I love this Jalen Smith pick for over 17.5 PRA. So I'm going to be taking him as well for similar reasons. They're going to have to keep up in this high scoring game. We already looked at that 263 over under. So we know that. And if we look at him over his last 5, this is actually favored. The odds makers are favoring this a little bit to go under. I just like it personally. So if you're uncomfortable with that, feel free to fade it. But if we look at what he did in his last outing, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then we look at this matchup, similar. We've got, actually, let's go specifically over to power forwards. So we've got 29th in points allowed, 27th in rebounds allowed, and 19th in assists allowed. So this is a killer matchup for him as well. So I'm going to be taking him. I think 17.5 is not asking too much when he just went for 23, and he's gone over the 20 mark 3 times in his last 5 games. So I'm going to be taking him for more as well. We can hop over to Daily Grind just to be full transparency. They are favoring the under. We got BetMGM at a minus 120 to go under. So not heavily favoring the under, but it is slightly favoring it. But I don't really care, to be honest with you. I feel really good about this play. So I'm going to be taking that. And then my last play is going to be an assist prop. And I'm going to be taking Isaac Okoro to go over 2.5 assists. This is a really low mark, and he also has a good matchup here. Let's take a look at this over under. We've got a over under of 240. There is blowout potential here, but I think 3 assists is low enough where I'm not too concerned about this getting out of hand. And as we've seen in the past, the Wizards can stay in these games, and they're better than they look on paper. The opposite of what we were saying about the Brooklyn Nets, who we think is like a little bit worse than people perceive them to be. But I think the Wizards just have to figure out their defense, but they can keep up. They can score. I believe they're top 5 in scoring as well, top 10 for sure. If we take a look at Okoro over his last 10 games, he hits this all the time. He's hit this 80% of the time, and 3 seems to be kind of his floor. And we know he's capable of going much higher than that too when he went for 6, 5, and 4 at that stretch not that long ago. And this is another great matchup. We've got 21st in assists allowed is how much Washington is allowing to shooting guards in particular. So, he's getting plenty of minutes. He's getting just under 30 minutes. But even in his last game, 19.5 minutes, and he still had those 3 assists. And that was against Washington. That was the same team they just played. So I'm really excited about all of these. Let's take a look. Daily Grind. They've got this one favored to the over. 51.45% odds to hit and a minus 124 on their odds. And then we've got BetMGM juiced at a minus 135. So I feel great about all 3 of these plays. Once again, I got Jalen Johnson over 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jalen Smith over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Isaac Okoro over 2.5 assists. What do you got for us, Jordy?
Yeah, man. To get me started into mine here. So first of all, I'm going to be going with a rebounds and assist prop. And I'm going to be taking my man Valanciunas in this matchup against the Clippers. 10.5 rebounds and assists is just really low. His rebounds are usually set at 10.5. So I like to get both of these here at 10.5 for sure. If you look over here on Outlier, he's hit this in 7 out of 10 games. And they've just knocked this way too low because of his last 5 games where he's had a couple rough outings. But honestly, like, these games where he hasn't hit this, they haven't needed him, and they just sit him down because the game's either so far gone or they're just blowing the team out without his help. So against Minnesota, they didn't need him at all. He came in for like the first 2 quarters, and I don't think he played really at all in the second half. Against the Lakers, it was the same thing. They just blew them out, and they didn't need him at all. And against Brooklyn, they brought him in because they needed him early on, and he had like 8 rebounds before the halftime. So I think in this game against the Clippers, it's going to be a pretty tough game. You can see they're pretty tough in rebounds. They're ranked 5th, but they're giving up the 27th most assists to centers. And it's not like this guy doesn't get any assists, man. Like, he'll go for 5, 4, 3. He gets assists a lot. So if they play him when they need him, like you see in these games where he's getting 5 assists and whatnot, he's getting upwards of 30 minutes. And over the last 5 games, they've just been nuking these teams, so they haven't really needed him a lot, but that's not going to be the case against the Clippers. The Clippers are playing really good ball right now, so I like this matchup a lot. I think it's really a sweet deal for him. If you look here on Outlier, this is one of their top plays at 53.29% to go over. They have it at a minus 135. A lot of people have this at a minus 140, so I really like this pick. I think it's insane. And then for my next play here, I'm going to be going with a points and rebounds prop, and I'm going to take OG Anunoby in this game. It's a really good matchup for him, and he's been on fire since he joined New York. If I can find him here, let's see. I just type in. Here we go, 17.5. So you can see he's hit this 4 out of his last 5 games. If we go over here to Outlier, he's been doing really well lately. Since he's joined the New York Knicks, he hasn't missed this one time. So, he's getting a lot more value on the offensive side of the ball, I'd say, with the Knicks. So I like him a lot to go over this. If you look at the matchup here against small forwards, they're ranked 8th in points. He's going to score, though. It's not like he's not going to get any of that. But they're ranked 25th in rebounding against small forwards, giving up 8.6 a game. And he's very well capable of going for 8 rebounds a game. He just did it against Chicago. He went for 6 against Minnesota. So, he's very capable of pulling down a ton of rebounds. So I like this play a lot. I think he'll get the scoring, but I think the rebounds is going to push him over. So I like him to go for 18 here. If you look at Daily Grind here, this is also one of their top plays. Where'd it go here? Let me just type in OG. You can see, where is his points, rebounds? Here we go. 53.73% chance to go over. They have it at a minus 137. So really juiced here. Everyone else got it at minus 130. So I really like this play too. I think this is insanely good value for this matchup. If you look at the over-under on this game, we've got a 240. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. 227.5 over-under with only a 6.5 point spread to the Sixers. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than that. I don't see them blowing out the Knicks at all. I don't think that's even in the realm of possibility here. Sure, I think they might win the game, but I think the Knicks are going to be right there with them. So really excited about that one. And then the Pelicans matchup, this is a 229.5 over-under with a 1 point spread. So that game's going to be really tight. I think they're going to need both centers on this side of the ball, or on this game. So I'm going to be taking the other centers too. I'm going to be taking Zubac rebounds for my last play. 8.5 is ridiculously low, guys. I mean, this is pretty silly. I know in the last game he's had he went for 3, but I mean, look at the last couple games when they actually use him. They're gonna need him in this matchup against Valanciunas, and I think both of these guys are gonna rip down a ton of boards, and I think this is gonna be a really fun matchup. The last game against Phoenix is you kind of had to look at this one with an asterisk because what's his name? The center for the Phoenix Suns didn't pull down a ton of rebounds either, because everything that these guys were shooting was going in. I mean, there wasn't a lot of rebounding opportunities in this game, and anything that was coming out was going really far past the box. So he only had 3 rebounds in that game, and they only played him like 26 minutes. I could see him going in this matchup against the Pelicans for at least 30, and I think he'll rip down 9 boards no problem. He went for 20 against Memphis. Excuse me. He went for 14 against Charlotte, 10 against Boston. When they need him, you can see against Memphis, he played 33 minutes and had 20 boards. When they need him in a matchup and they're not just sinking every shot they're taking, they'll play him more and he'll get them rebounds. So I like this a lot. I think 9.5, or I think 8.5 is just stupid low. So I'm really stoked on these picks. If we go over here to Daily Grind, this is another one of their top plays at 53.82% chance. Everyone's got this at a minus 130 or 140 or higher. So people even got it at minus 150. Daily Grind has it at a minus 137, which is an honest number for this one. So I really like these three, and that's the three I've got, bro.
Well, there you go, guys. That's 6 plays that we feel really good about. I can't tell you the last time the board looked this good and this stacked for the first look show. So we're really pumped for tomorrow. We hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're interested in checking out the tools from Daily Grind, like the DFS optimizer that you see us verifying our plays with and searching for plays with, they have partnered up with us. So they're giving all of our viewers 25% off of any of their tools if you just use code BACKDOOR. There's a link in the description of the video, but yeah, just BACKDOOR, one word, and they will give you 25% off of any of their tools. And also check out our Discord. There's a link to that in the description as well. We already have these plays. We always put our plays for the video in there first. So they've already had it for a little while now, but we also will be doing live build outs tomorrow for Flex Friday in our voice chat. And yeah, go check it out. If you're into Discord, it's a pretty cool resource, really fun community over there. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. We hope you have a great night, and we will catch you tomorrow for the daily show.
Good luck, guys.